Okay, so part 3 for Joel, we're going to do a tuning fork combination now. Let's see what we need. Okay, so where do we need to go? Oh, okay, governing. So governing, okay, so I might see whether we need to do the celestial circuit as well as part of this, because the celestial circuit's that connection between the central and the governing meridians. It's like a figure 8 meridian flow that travels between the two. But anyway, so the first one's governing. Governing adrenals, so the adrenal glands. So they're keeping the, oh, maybe it's thyroid, no, it's adrenals. So adrenals and governing. So the governing energy, when it's overloaded, it keeps us in survival, and the adrenals keep those hormones pumping, that keep that vigilance and that expectation of long-term stress and that inability to get out of crisis. So it sort of feeds all that together. So let's see what combination emotionally it is with the tuning forks. Okay, so governing and adrenals. Right, so it's that part of us that feels really empty, and that makes us want to be aloof, not connect to people, because there's that little part inside of us that just feels empty and alone and vacant, so that it's harder to, so it's just harder. So then governing red helmet orchid, yeah, right, I can see this with you. So red helmet orchid is rebelliousness, hot-headedness. Other people would see it as selfishness. So it's that real energy that doesn't like authority, that energy that doesn't like, people telling us what to do. So, okay, so what do we need? Do we need the governing meridian? Do we need the triple heater meridian? Do we need to do the celestial circuit? Okay, is there any chakras we need to do as well? There is. Heart, 8th, right, so the heart and 8th chakra, which is funnily is where your body asked for those crystals to be sitting at the beginning. Okay, red helmet orchid, it's an Aussie bush flower essence. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively transmute my rebelliousness, hot-headedness and selfishness into all-encompassing love. I make the commitment to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively express my true self by showing sensitivity, respect and consideration for myself and others. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively transform my rebelliousness and hot-headedness and selfishness into all-encompassing love. I make the commitment to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively express my true self by showing sensitivity, respect and consideration for myself and others. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively transcend my rebelliousness, my hot-headedness and selfishness into all-encompassing love. I make the commitment to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively express my true self by showing sensitivity, respect and consideration for myself and others. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively dissolve my rebelliousness and hot-headedness and my selfishness into all-encompassing love. I make the commitment to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively express my true self by showing sensitivity, respect and consideration for myself and others. Okay, So that's released a little RAS circuit, so the reticular activating system. Okay, so part of what's got you through is that rebelliousness and hot-headedness. So that's got you to where you are now. It's why you know what you know, and it's part of that energy that you've got that exudes you wanting to help people. So this there's an expectation. So this hormone, we need to calm this down. So it's noradrenaline. So there's an assumption with everything you know that there's going to be long-term stress. Even if there is, it doesn't help your body, it doesn't help your soul, it doesn't help your energy. So we need to calm down the noradrenaline. And that again is creating vigilance in the nervous system. So the nervous system is really traumatized and stressed and keeping an eye out for the next things to go wrong. But you don't have to be on top of everything all the time. It feels like you do, but you don't. And being addicted to that energy keeps us in the fourth dimension. So that fourth dimensional energy is about information gathering. You've got all the information you need. You already know it. Okay, so let's have a look. Another RAS circuit, okay. Okay, so again, noradrenaline. And this time it's noradrenaline keeping you focused. So the assumption of long-term stress is keeping your eyes on all of the information coming in. And that information coming in is really dense. It really weighs down the cells of your body. It weighs down your lymphatic system. It weighs down your soul. So it's releasing. So releasing the density of information. Releasing the density of energy in your soul. Releasing the density of energy in your heart. I release the density of any and all information that's no longer serving me. I release the density of any and all energy that's no longer serving me. I release the density of any and all energy no longer serving me. Okay, so where do we need to go next? Okay, so we need to go into some checking for goals. Just check my books to see where I need to get a goal from, because there's lots of places. Okay, so I need a flower essence goal. Okay. Sturt Desert Pea. Now that, I think because of the depth of your understanding with what's happened on the planet, I think this is what this is going to be about, because it's about deep hurt, sadness and pain. And once again, that energy, like when you're learning about all of this stuff, it's heavy, it's dense, it's awful to find out what's behind a lot of what's happened on the planet in the last few hundred years, or longer. So this is for pain, deep hurt and sadness, and for the positive outcomes, letting go. It helps to diffuse sad memories, it helps to motivate and re-energize. When one door closes, another opens. Expect that new door to reveal even greater wonders and glories and surprises. Feel yourself grow with every experience and look for the reason for it. So we'll see what affirmations are connected to this. I now release the pain in my past. I am now able to express my feelings of sadness and grief. I now release the pain in my past. I am now able to express my feelings of sadness and grief. Okay, where do we need to go? There's psychological reversal. Not safe. Okay, so part of the nervous system doesn't believe it's safe to let go of old sadness and grief. And that part of your heart, that part of your soul that knows what's going on, that knows in underneath, you know, all the evil that's happened in the past and all the evil that's happening at the moment. It's almost like if you let go of that, then the people being hurt are not being helped, because you know information. How can you move forward? How can you help humanity? But the sadness itself, once again, can lower your energy, lower your vibration, and the only thing that's going to move us through is with love and hope and that God vibration. We need that to raise our vibrations, not bring us down with the density of sadness, the density of feeling betrayed, the density of that nastiness on the planet. So it is safe to let go of these emotions. It is safe to let go of these emotions. I now release the pain in my past. I am now able to express my feelings of sadness and grief. I now release the pain in my past. I am now able to express my feelings of sadness and grief. Okay, so it's not in the brain. Okay, so this is actually, let me just check. Okay, so yeah. Right, so it's the caring part of your brain that has just cared so much for so long, it's exhausted. So that caring, nurturing side of you is just, it's just had it. So we need to just calm some of these little pathways down. So your center of gravity is off to the caring side. We need to bring it back into the center. Regain your masculinity, regain your doing, regain your control. Regain the yang in your center. Because we're all a combination, of course. Check that celestial circuit. Okay, that's taken that from third stage stress down to second stage stress. So now the celestial circuit's running on adrenaline. Now we need a flower essence. So bark, bush, it's a bark, okay. So this is a bark flower essence. It's mimulus. And mimulus is for fear of knowing things. You know what the fear is, you know what the stress is, you know what's coming, and you can verbalize it. You know exactly what it is. So this helps to diffuse that. 4 drops. Okay. And that's probably where the sadness is, because you know what's coming. So it's and you can only affect those in your tiny little bubble. Sometimes we can't even affect those. So once again, have a look. I now release the pain in my past. I am now able to express my feelings of sadness and grief. I now release the pain in my past. I am now able to express my feelings of sadness and grief. Okay. So now we've gone into the conscious brain, into the, it's linked in with a lack of trust. Okay. Is that internal lack of trust, people around you, in relation to people on the globe as a whole, on the whole? Okay, so it's the big plan. Okay, so, but you have belief in a plan as well, so trust in the plan, trust in the plan, trust in the plan. Okay. Fear that it is going to happen, fear that it isn't going to happen. Oh, yeah, right. So there's fear that both it is and it isn't. It's sort of between that rock and a hard place sort of thing. So whatever's going to happen, there's going to be a lot of fallout. And once again, the sadness is there because you know this. Reticular activating system again. Once again, the sadness is once again lowering the serotonin, making it harder to relax and feel joy. And that low serotonin is adding to the vigilance again, so that vigilance in the nervous system. And once again, that vigilance will be there the more information we listen to without calming down the energy. So once again, third, second, first stage stress. So we're back to first. So what do we need? Another essence. So the same or a different one? Is it a bark? Is it a bush? Is it a bush? It's bush. Box 2. Okay. So this is sort of, not sure. But the flower essence is Sturt Desert. No, it's not Southern Cross. It's for real poor me energy. It's sort of a victim mentality. And it's for when we're just so stuck in our stuff that we're not seeing our immediate big picture. So we sort of, it's just about bringing us back into our body, about bringing us back and connecting to our soul and our heart, and sort of just knowing, having that knowing that you're in control, having that knowing that you have sovereignty, having that knowing that the only person that you have total control with is yourself, and being okay with that. So, because you're not going to be able to save everyone in your world, you're just not. And yeah, because you've got a lot of knowledge, you'll feel like you should be able to save people, but not going to happen. So anyway, that's 7 drops, big dose. Okay, do we need that energy on the body? Yes, we do. So do we need it on one of the chakras? Throat energy. Okay. And I'm not sure what that's about, that sort of energy, but we just need to let it go. Releasing any and all victim mentality that no longer serves me. Releasing any and all poor me energy that no longer serves me. Okay, so it is really linking in with a despair energy. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, releasing any and all feelings of despair that no longer serve me. Releasing any and all feelings of despair that no longer serve me. Releasing any and all feelings of despair that no longer serve me. Okay, reticular activating system. Oxytocin. Okay, so oxytocin is the loving, caring, hugging hormone. So it's the hormone we release when we hug someone and we feel their energy. It's the hormone that we release when we hold a baby. It's the hormone that we release when we just have unfiltered love for someone. And and with the fear on the planet at the moment, there's a lot less hugging in the last year and a half than probably there has been in the last 10,000 years. So hugs are good, connecting to people is good, just opening up that heart energy, really powerful. So oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, releasing and flooding our body with feel-good hormone, oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine. Flooding the body with feel-good hormones, oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine. Look at those goals again. Actually, Southern Cross, so we'll check that as well. Yeah, okay. So the opposite of the victim mentality is about creating, knowing that you're in charge of your life. So I am realizing more and more that I create my own reality. I am realizing more and more that I create my own reality. I am realizing more and more that I create my own reality. Okay. Releasing any and all traumas stopping me from creating my reality. Releasing any and all fears, stopping me from creating my own reality. Releasing any and all ancient knowledge, stopping me from realizing my own reality. I am growing with each life experience. I am growing with each life experience. I am growing with each life experience. because the things that trigger us the most have the ability to give us the most personal growth. I was just thinking, I get triggered when I'm walking through bushwalks and people are wearing masks in sunshine, fresh air, and they don't have to. It's got to stop triggering me. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. And then the other one was Desert Pea. I now release the pain in my past. I am now able to express my feelings of sadness and grief. I now release the pain in my past. I am now able to express my feelings of sadness and grief. Okay, escape, submission, freeze. Dudes don't want to express stuff that grieves them. Can you feel any sadness in your heart? I release any and all sadness and grief with infinite love and peace. I replace any and all sadness and grief with infinite love and peace. I replace any and all sadness and grief with infinite love and peace. So once again, rechecking adrenal, survival, deep survival, hidden deep survival, checking the connections in the brain. CC trust, AC responsive, Pillay, A, B, C, D, paralochema, RASP, PGP, OGPG, Broca's, Wernicke's auditory. Okay, so the auditory integration points are a bit stressed. So that can be both what you're hearing. So when you're hearing other opinions, when you're hearing lies, when you're hearing other truths that don't match your own, but it's also the stuff we're telling to ourselves. So there's a pain and punishment circuit in there in relation to what we're hearing and what you're saying to yourself. Okay. Now I'm just going to check those auditory points in relation to adrenal, survival, deep survival, hidden deep survival, celestial. So that's blowing your celestial circuit, the information that you're hearing. Let's get that energy flowing again. Because once again, it just must be that density of the energy of what you're hearing. It's not adding to your cellular energy, it's just creating that density within your cells. So once again, auditory integration. Okay, so once again, so adrenal, survival, deep survival, hidden, any pathways in the brain. Oh, it's also messing with rip and lip. So that's the integration of everything you're seeing, hearing, feeling, and popping it in the correct little baskets in your brain. So the more traumatic the information that we're hearing, the more our brain is more likely to lay it down in the stress part of the brain. So then when we hear information about it, it's going to create trauma and stress in our memory centers, so that it's more likely to get us into a fear or anger or stressful driven conversation, rather than being able to keep it, calm. And because when we hear information and it's vibrant and good and loving and kind, that opens up the frontal cortex. When we hear information and it's dense and horrible and evil, that activates our survival pattern, so we actually lay stuff down in our stress part of our brains during that time, which makes sense because what it's trying to do, your brain is trying to protect you from this stuff. Or it's trying to keep it so that you will always know when danger is close. Okay, I think we're done there, Joel. I hope you feel a bit lighter. So we've had a couple of survival patterns. The celestial circuit was out a few times, integrated a bunch of left-right brain integrations, tuning fork combo, several flower resins going back in those genes. That'll be interesting if you know where those little family connections are and who was where at those times. So I'll see you next time, Joel. Take care. Bye.